Welcome to the LE mine. This is one of the coolest mines you'll ever see. It's got a huge nightclub and all kinds of artifacts. And hop on the train. Let's go in there and have a look. We ride a train underground there. The nightclub's only open one day a week. On Friday nights, we went in there. So yeah, it takes about 5-10 minutes to go all the way in there, and that's the only way to get in there. It's a half mile under the city of Zacatecas. Here's the low-key for this mine. That's where we're heading. Some of the fossils and stuff that they have here.
Muy bonito, sí. Ay, ya aquí voy a sumar la panza. La panza y la pepita. ¿La panza para qué es? Happiness.
Oh wow, look at some of the fossils that they got out of this mine. Oh, just awesome. Crystals. Those are thunder eggs, I think. Just incredible fossils. We're going to give you a bit of a tour of just some of these fossils and rocks and minerals they have here. They're actually from all over the world, and it's a very impressive collection. We're just kind of showing you some of the highlights here. Look at this. This is just fascinating. Some of these formations and eggs, crystals. It's quite a collection. It's kind of hard to video them. I got some of those are just little mud and salt balls and a whole bunch of different crystals. Just fascinating. One cool thing about Zacatecas is it's a pretty big city, and they have all kinds of shops that sell all kinds of these different rocks and minerals, and for actually a pretty cheap price. So if you're into mining and stuff, that is a really cool place in Mexico to go. The only bad thing about it is it's up 9,000 feet, so it's not hot up there. Look at these crystals and the colors. So you get up there, and one morning, actually, I had to scrape a little bit of ice off the windshield of my car up there. So it gets a little cool overnight, but usually by 10 o'clock or something, it's comfortable in a t-shirt. Although there's quite a few Mexicans, tourists there. You see them in a parka and scarves and everything all day long. Kind of funny to see when it's warm enough to be wearing a t-shirt. But anyhow, so yeah, it was just trying to give you a little bit of a highlight. Just an excellent job that they've done displaying all these rocks, and they're all labeled. And quite a few of them are from Zacatecas and places in Mexico, but they not all. Some of them for other places in the world. And look at this; it just looks like ice. It's a salt. I don't know what that is, but it's just stunning. It looks clear as ice. If you've seen it anywhere, you would think it was ice, but obviously it's not. Just a real treat. Wasn't something I was expecting going into a mine, seeing such an extensive collection of crystals and rocks and minerals from really all over the world. Zacatecas and this mine is just like I say, just a fascinating place to visit. So they were really nice to us too. We went there and explained about my channel and what I was doing there, and just let us go wherever we wanted. So see that concrete floor here is perfectly smooth, so it's wheelchair accessible. So there's no problem that kind of moving through there. It's actually quite dark in there. Yeah, your eyes get used to it. I was lucky I brought lots of lights with me, so I was able to film fairly well, but you really can't see that well if you don't have light. With that, my Fenix lights with me, so luckily. We've seen a little bit of glare on the cases, but other than that, it seemed to turn out pretty good. And then we come back for the nightclub. So here's some of the mining artifacts here. There's looks like it was part of an air tank that was riveted together, and there's a set of bellows, same as I have for my forge. And some of these old helmets, similar to what I have actually. A lot of this stuff I have in my museum at home. And there's a Jim Crow there behind the helmets, and that's for bending track. There's some ladles for the smelter to pour the stuff out, and some wrenches, and there's a tool there to crush stuff up. This is a mucker. I've never seen one of these before. It's a Gardner Denver mucker, so it come out of the States. But pretty cool mucker. It's not the type that I've normally ever seen before. And just they got all kinds of really cool lamps, a bunch of carbide lamps and display of different ladles. And we're gonna follow the tour back into the mine here.
Los obligaban a trabajar, lo hacían con herramientas manuales y sacaban lo que pasaba el minero.
All right, we're just gonna follow the tour here. We're going from where the train comes into the station. This is where the nightclub is. We'll come here tonight and check it out. The gates are locked right now, so you can't get in there. We'll go in there and have a few brewskis in the in the mine nightclub. We're just in behind all this, behind the tour, so it's not as chatty. They just got a bit of a mock-up here. There's a hand steel there. And this looks kind of like an interesting drill. It's not one that I'm familiar with. Maybe a Spanish drill or something, or a Mexican drill. See, lots of carbide lamps, and similar to the ones we have, this, but not none that they were on the headlamps or on the hardhats. So we're going to continue along. I guess they probably lock these gates at night, so people from the nightclub don't wander off into other parts of the mine. Yeah. I wonder just how extensive this mine really is. The tour guide's a real nice guy. He actually gave me some directions to some other mines I can go explore. All right, so we just got a bit of a winds here. They've got it barricaded off, so no one falls down there. So it goes fair ways down, probably about 50 feet down. So it's wet down there, flooded level down there. No, they didn't let me go down there. I didn't even ask. So he's taken quite a long time to explain stories of mining and stuff in Spanish, of course. So first of all, I don't think he's going to tell me anything I don't already know. Second of all, I can't understand a word he's saying. We're just going to hang back here a little bit, and so you don't have to hear the chatter. Looks like the banker is taking his cut here or something. And there's an old, looks like part of a cable. Probably part of, oh, there you go. Looks like there's a bucket there, and that was probably the wheel, the pulley at the top of the shaft for the ore bucket, an old one. So we got a pretty fair sized stope in here. Goes up a good 50 feet, and there's some platforms up there. Obviously of a little newer construction. And everything's pretty solid in here. I could climb up there, but I'm sure they wouldn't be happy. The tour guide's real nice. He told me where some other mines are, so I don't see any Marcelos in here, which is bats in Spanish. There's a couple dummies up there. So the ladder going up to a bit of a raise. I don't mind climbing up there, but I guess that ain't gonna happen.
Ya cansado, expulsado, se caía, gran cantidad de accidentes, derrumbes dentro de la mina. En promedio morían
Oh, there's some explosive boxes.
llegaban a trabajar hasta 1200
Mexican ones.
dentro del lugar, se los obligaba, pero cuestiones
Peligroso, that must be the Spanish word for explosives.
hablábamos de gas y polvo.
Pressing ladders that they mocked up here. I guess that was maybe a real simple way to make a ladder. I never seen anything like that before. So you can just climb up there with that. And they built a big, there's another little display there. A sack of ore and a pulley leading that sack down. And then below us, looking down into the stope. And yeah, it continues on down. A little hard to see down there, but there's some more dummies down there bringing some ore up. It's flooded. Goes down fairways. Probably about 50 feet down there, I guess, to that level. And they've kept a couple little bridges in there. Or pillars, like a vertical pillar, I guess. Or horizontal pillar. To hold the back up there, or the ribs up a little. We're seeing some sulfides in here. And yeah, they did quite a bit of work to keep the back from falling on anyone. Looks like it's a pretty big stope up there, an unsupported stope. So they had to fix it up for the tourists, I guess. And chase these guys down to the next station. So everyone's got to wear hard hats because it's pretty low in here. Because as you can see, I just hit my head here. People probably bang their head in here. The hard hats aren't necessary to keep anything from falling on you. That's pretty secure, but keep you from hitting your head. It's actually pretty dark in here without any light. Looks kind of cool. The only light that's on right now is just a camera light. Makes it look pretty neat though. I don't know how good quality the filming will be with that little bit of light. A little bit of fractured rock in here. False floor here above us. And we continue on. Well, you'll never find a nicer mine to walk through than this one. I guess that's why we pay the big bucks, 100 pesos to get in here. So, that's not much. It's about $8 or so, I guess. Well, $6. Yeah. Good value for $6. Got a kind of a neat little cage here that they must have used to haul miners up and down. That's kind of cool. Sort of an elevator thing. You see a little better. Pretty simple, but it's a good way to haul miners up and down. And then they just would have pulled it with a rope. And pulley would have been fairly simple. Let people down and get a ways up. There's some stalls in there. Look at some of these layers of ore in here. It's a band of some kind of ore there. There's some pyrites in there. And then there's the rest of the tour down there. You can see a miner there. And you can hear the water run a little bit there into the flooded sections of the bottom. This is the main haul level, so they must have, as far as I know, must have brought all that ore up to this level. Now this is probably the oldest ore cart I'll ever see. It looks like, I don't know if it's, those wheels almost look like they could have been original. Looks like a chariot wheels off a Roman carriage or something. Pretty cool. I don't know how they would have pulled that by a mule or something, I guess. cool display there, huh? Well, that probably shows the black lung that you get from breathing all the freaking dust in from these mines, eh? Yeah. I don't even know if they went up or down. There's some pretty good old ore carts there. We might have lost our crew. We don't really pay any attention if they went up or down. Probably just goes around in a circle anyhow. So this wasn't originally a level, but it is now. Pretty skinny pillar up there. Yeah, we're just in the mid part of this stope here. Certainly very similar to, many mines that we've toured before. Other than some of the artifacts, which are pretty unique and displays. And there we go. So there we got some canaries in a cage. So I don't think they would use them here. That would be something they use in a coal mine. It's not something that's commonly used in hard rock mines. Unless they had some specific issues with that. And there's some hand steel and some tools there. There's a teapot. It's same as I got in my museum. It's the teapot, the old teapot lamp. Yeah. Well, that's kind of strange. That's an electric tugger, which I had never seen before. Far more common to see the air-powered tuggers. So that would probably, it's pretty simple but effective winch, two guys. Could hold a lot of ore up and down there in a day. And there's the electric winch. There's the track switch. And another cart. A couple guys pushing some more. Yeah, well, if any of you guys, are regular fans of the show and you think, oh, that's really cool, but it'd be too chicken to go in a mine, go in this one. Then we get any safer than this. Zacatecas, Mexico. There's some pretty cool lamps. There's a teapot and some other older lamps. Well, that's a kind of interesting way that, like a little swing. That I'm sure they would use that with hand steel. To just clean up anything along the edges that got left. In there, you can still see some green there for the copper. So this mine first started in the late 1500s from the very top level, and it shut down in 1960. So there's some carts that they have here, some old stuff. And this is actually a picture of some flotation cells at another mine, not from here. And then we have an ore cart here. Pretty old cart, that one. Oh, yeah. Well, so this is where the explosives would have been kept. Pilgro explosives. Keep out, stay out. So yeah, this is one of the very few places that you've seen a carbide lamp on a helmet. Usually they have the other type that you carry. So these are the ones that we have. So this level is the number 4 level, I guess. There's 7 levels altogether. They're all done. They only have the mine tour on this level and one that was a little bit below that. So we're going to go up to the top level. The bottom levels, there was other levels, but they sealed them off. Just doing an awesome job here with all these displays. This is I guess the I don't know whoever it is, the paymaster, I guess, that pays all the guys out there, the book there. And this is where the tags are. They have that tag system where you take a tag to work with you and you put it back on the board when you're gone. And if at the end of the day there's any blank spots and they know they're missing someone. Canteens and lunch boxes, helmets, carbide lamps. Agua means water in Spanish, and this is kind of a little place where they hung their gear, I guess, to dry up for the next shift. And there's a canary, but you know they don't use canaries in hard rock mines. It's just there for dramatic purposes. That's just a coal mine thing. And cool little statues of miners and stuff that they got here. And these are, it says carbide, like, oh, carbide normally come in them drums like that. Maybe it did here. Look at the big dynamite boxes. 22 kilograms. They may be a lot freaking heavier than that. That's like 50 pounds. There's no way that'd be 22 kilograms. I don't know. Looks a lot heavier than that to me. There's a hand steel and a whole bunch of axes and hand steels, and there's a really neat blasting machine there. I love that blasting machine. And some more hand steels there. Oh, and hey, there's my backpack and my hard hat that I'm supposed to be wearing. They're really good to me here. They just stay behind, film as long as you want, take your time, look through all this shit. So this mine's very similar to mines you see in Canada that we've explored many places, but they've done just such a great job in trying to explain how the mine operated, and lots of artifacts and stuff like that too. We're carrying on. We went up the elevator and there's another level here, so we've gone up this other level and we're going to have a poke around here and see what we can find here. The back's pretty rough here. You notice? You don't see that too many places where it's that rough. But I don't know if there's 2 more levels that we can get at or what. There's an elevator there. I rode that elevator up here, some timbering here. Obviously a pretty new construction. Holding the back up. I'm not sure if that's really necessary, if it's for illustration. Doesn't matter. And there's a big air door here, lots of air moving through here. Yeah. There's some copper up there. Oh wow. All kinds of cool things here. There's an elevator that they got set up here. Oh, that's where the other elevator went to. Oh, and we have video surveillance here too, so they're keeping an eye on us. So you definitely want to be on your best behavior. Yeah, good airflow in here. And it's supposed to be about 600 meters to get out, so that's kind of cool. You can just walk along at your own pace. Oh, there's an old method of crushing ore down. Pretty colorful looking stopes in here. You got some sulfides in here and a bit of iron ore. A little bit of quartz in there. There's some hand steel there. The miner having a little siesta. Must have made, oh, that's kind of cool. Gourds, just use a corn cob for a plug to haul water, and that's pretty neat. Cheap way to make a jug back in the old days. There's some more mine carts. Hand steel. Yeah, I don't know which would be the nastier job, having to swing that sledgehammer or haul the steel. I guess they probably traded off. Yeah, pretty colorful sulfides up there. And we got another level up there with a false floor. And we'll continue along this footwall. There's another little drawing here of, looks like a shaft, an incline shaft. Kind of like that we've seen up the HB mine. Oh, the Remac, the Remac have those 55-degree incline shafts, just like that. Yeah, so this mine was open from 10 till 5, but We got in here at noon. We're not going to be in here 5 hours today. Man, what an incredible job they did. You know, this is a pretty good mine, similar to the ones that we see in Canada, but they done just an excellent job making it safe for the public and actually having the balls to let people go in here. They're so paranoid in Canada about letting anyone go into a mine for, I don't know why. They always say it's about the liability. You're only liable for something if you do something wrong. It's pretty dark in here without the lights. That's why you need a hard hat, I guess. You'd end up banging your head if you didn't have a light, I'm sure. But not much chance of banging your head if you can see. Yeah, oh, see, those are the old air pumps they would have had, the big bellows to pump air into the mine. Dynamite, dynamita. Spanish for dynamite, no doubt. Oh, got a case of explosives here. Oh, maybe we can take one of these for a souvenir. Oh, they're pretty solid. I'm sure it's not real dynamite, not like what we find. There's a whole mock-up of an old charge generator. And we're looking back down into the flooded section down there. They got a bit of a light there so you can kind of see it pretty good. Well, it's an interesting wheel. I'm not really sure what it would have been used for.